Welcome to our in-depth exploration of Numbers, the fourth book of the Bible. This often overlooked book holds crucial lessons for every believer's spiritual journey. Let's dive into why Numbers is so important and what it can teach us today. Numbers covers about 39 years of Israel's wilderness experience, following their journey from Mount Sinai through the desert to the plains of Moab. It tells the story of over 2 million Israelites organized as a traveling nation, preparing to enter the Promised Land. The book features two censuses that reveal God's faithfulness. The first, at Mount Sinai, shows God's blessing and growth. The second, 38 years later, proves God's preservation through judgment. Despite rebellion and wandering, God's promises remain sure. Numbers explores several major themes that transform lives. We see divine order in God's detailed organization of camp, worship, and leadership. The wilderness experiences test and reveal our hearts. The contrast between rebellion and obedience shows the costly consequences of rejecting God's guidance. Through it all, God's unwavering covenant demonstrates His faithfulness despite human failure. Key events in Numbers teach valuable lessons. The report of the 12 spies highlights the battle between fear and faith. Wilderness complaints show how ingratitude leads to prolonged struggles. Korah's rebellion warns against challenging God-appointed authority. The bronze serpent foreshadows Christ's healing power. Balaam's prophecy reveals God's protection from unseen spiritual attacks. The cities of refuge demonstrate God's balance of justice and mercy. These ancient stories have practical applications for us today. They teach us how to maintain faith during life's difficult transitions, offer leadership lessons about supporting God-appointed leaders, show the generational impact of our choices, and emphasize the importance of covenant living, walking in obedience while trusting God's timing. For modern believers, Numbers teaches that spiritual maturity requires both time and testing. God's discipline, always motivated by love, leads to greater blessing. Our journey to spiritual promises demands patience, faith, and obedience. Even in seasons of waiting, God is actively preparing us for His purposes. Numbers bridges the gap between God's law and entering His promises. It reminds us that every believer faces a wilderness journey of spiritual growth. The book encourages us to learn from Israel's mistakes and trust God's faithfulness. Ultimately, Numbers points us to Christ, our ultimate guide to the Promised Land.